Did it go? Now I'm worried. What do you mean offline? Did it go? Oh no, it's live. Okay. Okay. Crazy kids these days. Keep this open just in case. Oh, the stick feels so weird. I got something. I think that's everything. What is up, Lino bro? Just for the moment, it's just me. Skybeam will be here shortly. And I think I have all the equipment now. 14, 15. Missing one more. What am I missing? I thought there was 16. Is there 16 or 15? I gotta look up. Let's see. Oh no, there are 15. Okay. Then cool. Got all the special weapons. Yahoo. Now it's just a matter of grinding, which I'm not gonna do. Because we grind way too much on this stream already, so it's okay. We don't really need that. update anything else. What is up? Real Omega Zero. Skybane will be here shortly. Just waiting for him to be done with whatever. We have every single special. We got every single special weapon now, so being a bad guy was worth it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to do it. And it would have been bad. It would have been worse than being a bad guy. But yeah, I'm pretty bad at going through at least some. Get out of here. I forgot I have infinite ammo. That's nice. I honestly don't remember if I'm done with this whole area or not. I might be. I think I explored everything here. Except for that. Okay, maybe that's where I need to go. Down there. Alright. Well, let's go that way. This is just a money farming stream. With this game, it feels like it. I always have to go back. Just get lots of money. This game had like a stock market crash or something. Everything was nuts. Alright, whatever. I'm done with that guy. Oh my god, I hate this enemy. Oh. Hey. Oh yeah. We gotta kill all the vehicles. All the bad guys that were coming through. Here to fight. Me and you. And done. Takes forever. Ugh. Now we can get through the door. Might as well get this square. Oh my god. And yep, now that happened. Cool. Looks like just rely on this. Maybe. It's just flipping them over. That's just rude. Alright. Still another one. So better settle in. Really? Go away. What is going on, C. Felix? How you doing today? Skybane Zero will be here. He's just running a teensy bit late. Yeah, I probably should be thinking like that, but I guess I'm just too impatient. Do I even have any? Of course not. Yeah, I know. I probably will end up grinding just a bit so I can get that filled out a bit more. Because, you know, can't have a session without grinding in this game. Let's try going this way. This one changed the gravity. I can't even get through this door, huh? I have to kill him. Oh no. Oh. Stop having a million health, please. Now I get to fight him again, because I don't think it'll let me go through. Yep, that's cool. Oh my god. Out of here. No. I really hope I put the right gravity setting. both at the same time. I guess I'm pretty good now. Okay. I would have been really mad if I went back into the gravity room. Then I would have to fight them again. No. Well, I guess I get to fight him again. So it wasn't normal, wasn't heavy, then has to be low. Die, okay? That'd be nice. Alright. Get out of here. Oh, I thought he was dead. Honestly forgot we streamed today. That's okay. So did Skybeam, that's why he's not here yet. No, he's just running a little bit late. That's all. No! Wow, I can't believe that happened. Just let it run. Suffered long enough. Let me just make sure. Oops. Yeah, it's definitely what I started with earlier. So, let's have high gravity on. Health. Okay. Pop those bubbles. Okay. Now it has to let me through. I won't be here for long. Understandable. Have a good day. I was supposed to just jump in. That's pretty good. Tech. So yeah, this one. Or am I actually losing? Maybe this one? No, I'm losing range though if I do that. How are things? They're alright so far. I haven't really been able to do a whole lot yet. Let's see. I feel like there should be a way I can do this. What is this even like? It's got a decent amount of range. Nothing even in here, huh? Oh, come on. Get out of here. God, I can't stand those things. I really need to change it. Okay. I just need to get out of here before I die. Oh, here he is, the man of the hour. There he is, with this mic needed. Oops, not that one. The other one. Yep.
If ever gonna say no, I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah, sorry, couldn't hear you.
Sorry for the wait, guys. I was doing a lot of things. It was a really nice day outside, so man, felt the need to take advantage of the great weather.
Not over here.
Is it still stormy over there?
No, it's just 105 today.
Ah.
It is showing cloudy, so maybe it will be stormy again.
104 at the same time?
Yeah.
It's a crazy combination. Like, how hot would it be if it wasn't cloudy?
Who knows, man. Hottest is supposed to get today is 111. Oh my. Can't stand these.
Jeez. I think I can't see what's going on the screen, but I dare say you're fighting the spiders.
No. It's the guys that come up from the ground. Oh, it was a
I can't see what's going on.
Well, why not?
I don't know, it's just showing me a loading circle.
That's right there. Alright.
Well, Discord doesn't think so. I'm gonna leave and then come back.
Okay.
Or you can just stop it and reshare it.
Yeah, let's try this one again. Sometimes this one
Alright, I can even hear the music, and it's really loud.
Well, it's okay, because it doesn't work anyway. I could change the volume right there. I don't know why
It's
it
still
does
showing me a
that.
loading bar.
Really? Okay, yeah, get
I
out
have
of
no
here and
idea
come
why
back
that
in.
is.
Please, be gone.
Okay, okay, catch you later,
Yeah,
folks.
be
Josh is
gone,
banishing
yeah.
me.
I'm kicking him out of here. Here's mine. You can't have it.
Yeah, I rid myself of your curse.
There we go. Let's try one more time.
Yes, indeed. Okay, well, getting back into the action then.
Yeah, I'm giving him the boot.
Very apropos. Giving the
Um,
Bane the mega boots. Sky booted.
Arma's literally never done anything to me.
Yeah, Josh is immune to karma.
Yep.
He doesn't even eat it.
No! See what you did to me? Oh yeah, I never killed that guy. Okay. The divine boots in the head. Just gonna get the Hecula out of here. Just because Elysium is very scary. I don't like it.
Careful of Elysium.
Elysium! I'll have to get Mega Man off Elysium!
That's how that cliffhanger is eventually resolved. You just get Rex up there
Yep.
and have him bring him back down. Funny thing is, it's not Elysium is not called Elysium in Japan. Believe it or not, it's actually called Heaven in Japan. So you were literally in heaven right now.
Oh, can't wait!
Which I mean, it's not my idea of an ideal paradise, but who knows?
There's too many robots here. Too many robots in Elysium.
Remember the old Ruby Spears Mega Man cartoon? How they would always call robots robots.
Robots.
And they did that with the man as well. Like they said, Gutsman, Cutsman. White was the most infamous for that kind of thing.
Is it just because of their funny Canadian accents or something?
I don't know. I think it's generally it's a pronunciation thing that comes of having like a word and then man as one word, you know. And so instead of like guts man being two separate words, like being separated into guts and man, it's one word. So that kind of
Yeah,
lends
so
itself to that strange pronunciation.
so they read it as one word.
That's exactly it. They just read it as one word, and hence gutsman, cutsman, and all the other little min.
Yeah, and it's also a Canadian thing. Lino Bro confirming it for us right now.
Thing? Okay, go figure.
I mean, it's probably both. TBH. Oh, this is a new one. Ooh, I probably should get that. What is this?
You know when stuff like that will come in handy.
Tag. Sounds a boot, right? Yeah, we're gonna get this. I was hoping to... Yeah, well, I could get a little bit. Maybe one of these. That's about it. We have to recharge the medicine bottle. That's fully charged. Okay. We have to sell all of our buster parts. Oh, I
Hey,
have
you can
this,
sell the refractors too.
but they look so nice in my inventory.
That's the big dilemma, I admit. I will honestly say that when I go through this game, I cannot bring myself to sell the refractors because the developers were annoying enough to give them their own distinct icon on the menu,
Yeah,
thereby giving them
remember
a
that.
sort of special presence in your inventory. Um, it sort of feels like you've annihilated the most special part of your inventory, you know?
And it's gone forever.
It's terrible. Hey, looks like we have old school Matt the lore master here.
Lore
But no,
master.
the theorizer, I'll say.
Yeah.
Hey, old school Matt, what have you been thinking about this time regarding Mega Man Legends lore? Gotta say, it's always nice to who's like constantly always thinking about the Legends story and how it can connect to other, parts of Mega Man and all that kind of fun stuff.
And lore walker.
More or less.
Secret text.
Thing. I do live near Vancouver, where the voice work was recorded at Ocean. Oh, hey, nice. So, do you know Lucas Gilbertson or what's the other guy's name?
Scott
X's voice
McNeil.
actor, the guy in X8.
Oh, never mind.
We'll say Peter Von Gom then.
Even though Peter Von Gom lives in Japan.
He does live in Japan. I always tend to forget that, and that's how he's able to get all these roles.
Yep. He just sneaks on by in Japan.
Yeah. Oh, hello, by the way, to Kitty Sora in our chat. Nice to have you on board. Is saying here, but that's the purpose of recovering the refractors, to sell them for money. Isn't that how Legends economy works?
You know what? Probably everybody has the same dilemma as us, where they don't want to sell them because they look so nice. So that's probably why the economy crashed in this game. Everything is awful.
Yeah, everyone's just hoarding their refractors.
Mark Gotho is the voice of X and X8.
That's thank you for that, Zero.
And also Impersonation Gaming, hello.
Good to have you on board. Welcome to our stream.
I'm trying to figure out where the heck to go. I think I gotta go right there.
Wait, speaking of Mark Gotha, and this is only semi-related to the point I'm gonna, but is doing a marathon, a Mega Man marathon on his live stream. Currently, not right now, of course, because he's playing Mega Man Legends 2 and he can't juggle two controllers at one time.
Oh, you're talking about me. Okay, you cut out for a second, and you're just like
Excuse
speaking
me.
of Mark Gotha, and then you cut out, and he's like, he's doing a live stream. I'm like, wait, he's doing a live stream? You're talking about me. Yes,
Yeah, that wasn't the smoothest transition.
No, especially when it cut out like that. But yeah, I am doing an X marathon. I might continue that either today or tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. I might do it today. We'll see if I want a thunderstorm today or tomorrow.
Yeah, do you want to tell him about that?
Yeah, like, okay, so I knew that thing was there and I didn't mean to stay on there. So I streamed Mega Man X collection on Monday and Thursday. And both days I did that, out of nowhere, there was a thunderstorm, like a crazy loud thunderstorm with raining and everything going crazy. And like it was just weird because like the one on Monday definitely came out of nowhere. And then like when I was checking the weather on Monday, it was like Tuesday and Wednesday it might rain or whatever. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then so on Thursday night, I got a text on my phone that was like, oh, there's gonna be a dust storm. Watch out for that. I'm like, dust storms? I don't care about that. I'm like already in my room or whatever, right? So ignore the dust storm, playing Mega Man on my stream, and I hear like a rumble, but my headphones are so like they do such a good job of noise canceling. You could come up behind me and just take me out and I wouldn't even know you were there. You could be like wearing rubber ducks for shoes and I wouldn't be able to hear you. So like I felt a rumble and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then like a couple minutes later, I felt another rumble and heard it that time because it was so loud. I'm like, okay, I gotta go check what's going on. I peek out my window and crazy thunderstorm going on in the background. And yeah, and it was weird because like as I was beating X1 on Monday, there was that huge thunderstorm. And then as I was trying to wrap up X2, which is very hard to wrap up, there's another thunderstorm there. So I don't know, it's pretty crazy. So if you guys want another thunderstorm, let me know. I'll just start streaming Mega Man X. And apparently the two are connected. So, I mean, it does say it's cloudy today, so maybe I should just fulfill the prophecy today and stream it some more. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. Crazy weather over here. And I live in Arizona and in like in the southern, well, not southern. I guess I'm kind of like central Arizona. But you know, I live in the part where it doesn't like snow or nothing, where it's just really hot. So the fact that it's raining over here, especially like late July and early August, it's crazy. I don't know. Crazy weather. Crazy weather these days. That's my very exciting story. But yeah, I am streaming the X Collections. I've been streaming like Danganronpa one day, and then the X Collections, and then something else sometimes. So I kind of stream it like every other day, basically. Is what I'm trying to say. Is this the elevator? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did have Skybait on it with me last time.
Yes.
I was wrapping up X2, which I didn't really like when I beat it, but when I kind of think back on it, I'm like, you know, it was that bad. It just could be really annoying.
Yeah.
With
But yeah,
X3 though, I don't know. X3 is really like annoying in like a really bad way. Like, just so many enemies, everything does so much damage, and Mavericks are like really hard. And, I don't know.
Right. But yeah, I was joining Josh on his last stream, and it's kind of funny how that happened. I just came in intending to enjoy the show, and I was like, man, it's so weird being on a Mega Man stream, watching you play a Mega Man game, and I not being on there to just ramble to my heart's content. And then Josh was like, well, you can come on and you can come on Discord and talk with me if you want, if you really want to ramble and watch a Mega Man.
Like if you wanna, I don't mind.
And you know, we had a good time. Well, I mean, I had a good time watching Josh suffer. I don't think he was having as equal a time.
No, just I don't know. X3 was what really started making me mad. That game's just way too hard. And unless you're saying the magic words on the one level, you don't get any health drops at all.
Yeah. Folks talking in our chat here. Old School Matt is saying, what if Yuna and Sarah are supposed to be the same being, and when Yuna leaves Matilda, they achieve their true original form? Well, that would be curious. Yuna and Sarah being the same being? Like, that would imply that, essentially, Banner, who was Roll's father, he married an ancient? That would, I think, lend itself to some very intriguing, I guess, neat way of developing the story. But I don't know how feasible we can think that is, because, makes it sound like she encountered Matilda for the first time when they were on Forbidden Island. So, I don't know, I don't, I don't know. I mean, that's another one of the points that is just really not well drawn out in Legends 2, like how Matilda and Yuna are fused together. Now, they don't explain where's Yuna's consciousness, or no, excuse me, they don't explain where Matilda's consciousness is, or anything. I mean, even Yuna, when she gets back her original body, they don't explain what's up with that either. You just kind of see her, like, Yuna Matilda carrying original Yuna body in at the end of the game, but Like, that isn't expanded upon. And then, like, what happens to Sarah's original form? And how is Matilda going to give back, or excuse me, how is Yuna going to give back Matilda's consciousness if Sarah is occupying Yuna's original body? So, we got a few bodies destroyed, I guess, or accounted for at the end of Legends 2, and it just becomes a question of, like, where are all these errant consciousnesses going to go at the end of the day? Oh, going all over the place, don't know where to put them, losing them, you know?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Excuse me, old school Matt. Okay, no, I was reading that wrong. I thought you were talking about Yuna and Matilda, but you did say Yuna and Sarah. Okay, so I see what you mean. Like, they're fusing together themselves. Shao. Okay. That I can possibly see happening. That's a good point, actually. You obviously don't know what the mother units are really capable of, so I wouldn't rule out the possibility that they can fuse together and make themselves into a entity that's like combining their consciousnesses, so to speak. Oh, Impersonation Gaming asking, just asking, do you dislike Mighty Number 9? No, we do not. We do not. We kind of, I mean, we don't necessarily, I mean, I really don't want to make an official stance. Everyone in our team has a different, but as far as Josh and I are concerned, I'm kind of more inclined to think it's a pretty okay game. It's certainly not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. I mean, that's pretty much all I'll say, honestly. It's not as bad as everyone's making it out to be, but you gotta consider a few things. One, depending on the system you're playing it on, you know, another depending on, I guess, through it. A lot of things come into play, I guess, to determine, you know, whether you think it is a bad or good game.
I find it to be perfectly just okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I stand too. I mean, it's I can appreciate being like it's like one of those games that's specifically designed for speedrunners, and I'm a speedrunner, so I can appreciate that fact about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna praise it to the moon either. I think it's okay, you know, just
I think if you want to play a good Mighty Number 9, you could always play Mighty Gunvolt Burst. That game's pretty fun.
It's got a nice style, pretty smooth gameplay mechanics, and just really tight controls, which you might not necessarily find in Mighty Number 9, because I was getting, when I was playing through Mighty Number 9 the first time, which was on the PS3 version, I was getting some pretty nutso input lag, and of course that's not to be found in Gunvolt Burst.
No, Gunvolt Burst is pretty fun game. You can just make it as crazy, you can make it as hard or as easy as you want to, and it's pretty cool. I like that game a lot, actually. I've played through it like a couple times.
You get a lot of replay value out of it.
DLC characters. I like that game a lot.
Impersonation Gaming saying, I like Mighty Number 9, but I will say that it has the same problems as Mega Man 11 in my personal opinion. I got PS4 version. Okay, well, you know, I always make a point to mention this whenever I give an okay or negative opinion on any game I've played. You know, if you like it, that's totally fine. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, huge emphasis on this point here. Games are an entertainment medium. And since they're an entertainment medium, you should feel perfectly free to extract whatever entertainment you can out of that medium. And when you think about it, you know, entertainment in video games is, I mean, I don't want to say it's entirely subjective, but in many cases it is. You know, you could look at something that's, you know, that's constantly making you die a lot, a challenge that's making you die a lot in a game, and you could either chalk that up to really unbalanced gameplay, or just a really fun challenge. That's an argument I often see brought to the defense of Mega Man X6. Stand X6 personally, but I see a lot of people defending its difficulty on the grounds. Well, it's relatively cheap difficulty, and I'm inclined to say it's cheap, but I'll often see a lot of people defending that on the grounds that it's meant to provide a really nice challenge in a way that no other Mega Man game had before it. So it really depends on how you want to see this kind of thing. And so like the bullet hell segments even in Mega Man X6, and there are a lot of those segments, I can assure you. You know, some players find it genuinely fun to dodge around all those bullets and, you know, really test themselves in a really challenging segment like that. I just find it annoying, but depending on the kind of player you are, you might find that legitimately fun. So, you know, bringing this all back to Mighty Number 9, I think you could, like, any part in that game that you're inclined to think is cheap or not well balanced, depending on the kind of player you are, you just might as easily be inclined to think it's a fun challenge or, you know, meant to provide a nice, fun experience, potentially, to defend things like input lag, I guess.
You know, that's all I really gotta say. There's some alright stuff. I like some of the weapons. I like the one helicopter dude actually. I think he's kind of funny. I like him a bit.
Yeah,
more.
some lines, alright.
Yeah, I like him a bit more in Mighty Gunvolt Burst. But I don't know. Like if you're on the fence about Mighty Number 9, just play Mighty Gunvolt Burst. I think that game does that game just better. That game's pretty.
Well, I mean, I'm the kind of person who always encourages people to try out games for themselves and not go by the opinions of the masses.
Well,
So.
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, okay. If you didn't like Mighty Number 9, I would say try Mighty Gunvolt Burst.
What I would say. I would say try out Mighty Number 9. You can find it extremely cheap nowadays. Probably it's not going to cost you much to, if you don't like it. But, yeah, you know, I say try it out. You know, go by your own instincts, and have full confidence in, like, what you think. And, you know, like, because I feel like a lot of the reception that Mighty Number 9 has received has been going off a lot on what, like, game reviewers have said.
Yeah.
You know, really well-known and respected game reviewers. So, you know, just trust your own preferences in the end.
Trust your instincts. You gotta live and learn.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, and Mega Man X Legacy Collection is selling like fantastically. I think Proto Dude released a report the other day where it was selling better than Mega Man Star Force 3 or something. I forget. I forget what it was exactly, but I think that was it. And also, I meant to say this last week. I don't think I did. But like Capcom's 2 best-selling games this year are Mega Man and Monster Hunter World, so I'd say that's pretty good. They got, you know, the Legacy Collection 1 and 2 on the Switch, and then they got all the X games this year, so things are definitely looking really good for Mega Man right now, so we'll see where that leads us.
Let's see, what else are people saying? Man, we're getting a lot of activity here. That's nice. If they make a sequel, I feel like it would be the next Mega Man 2, and correction, said Mega Man 1, not 11. 11 hasn't been released yet. Yeah, I would think the same. And usually you'll often find that, you know, whenever game developers make a second game, it's a vast improvement on the first. For obvious reasons, of course. So, I mean, I think... I want to say that Inafune is going to have to try to build up some respect, I guess, before he releases a second game in that series, but if he does, you know, I think he'll know what to do. And honestly, I think that the faults, any faults that Mighty Number 9 does have, it comes from inexperience, you know, the inexperience of... Well, you know, not Inti Creates, because they've been in the business for a long time, yeah. But...
I don't know. Well, I think the biggest problem Mighty Number 9 faces, instead of trying to be a game, I wanted to be a franchise.
Yeah, that's a good point. There was a lot of... the team was focusing on a lot of stuff at that time, so... It stands to reason, I guess. Mega Man cartoon is up right now. Thank you, C. Felix, for mentioning that.
Totally forgot.
First 10 episodes.
I haven't personally watched any. I'll probably watch it a couple, just to check it out. Yeah, I wouldn't get too worked up over it. I kind of like digging the art style the more I see of it, to be honest. It's definitely an improvement from when they first showed it, where he was just like way too blue and kind of ugly looking. I kind of like how it looks now.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with a lot of folks who are saying it looks better in motion. Old School Matt is going nuts here with his theories. To my other idea, could Bon possibly be a Juno-type Reaver bot that Tron found, hacked, rebooted, and reprogrammed? I would be inclined to entertain that possibility normally, but actually, we got some news the other day actually from the esteemed Hideki Ishikawa, and if you folks don't know him, he was the main artist aboard the Mega Man Legends series. And over the last couple weeks, he's been doing this question and answer thing on his Twitter, where he takes in questions from fans and answers them, based on his experience with the franchises that he's done before, that he's worked with. And so, I mean, Ishikawa is primarily known for Mega Man Legends, so guess what most of the questions he's been getting have been focused on? Yeah, he's been getting just a crap load of Mega Man Legends questions. I want to say they comprise like 90% of all the questions he's getting. One of the questions he's been getting at least twice, it might have been 3 times even, is what is up with Bon Bon? Is he like a baby in a mechanical suit? Is he like, Man, all the questions that have been circulating in fans' heads for the last 2 decades are coming out and being thrown in Ishikawa's direction. And I'm talking such things as, like, is Bon a real baby who died and his consciousness was transferred over to a machine? Or is he just like a robot that Bon or Tron and Teasel made and just called their brother? Or is he this goes on and on. There are like 100 different Bon fan theories out there. But yeah, Ishikawa helped to clear this up just yesterday. So he received a question on Bon and he responded that Bon is basically Tron and Teasel's real brother. Nothing really too complex about him. He's just, for all intents and purposes, he's another carbon. He's another one of the carbons. Well, I mean, there's nothing that's crazy itself, I know, but it's not so crazy as to have like a baby who died and had its consciousness transferred over to a machine. It's like, no, Bon was and always, I guess, will be a machine from the day he was born to the day he'll die. And he's no different from Tron and Teasel in their genetic makeup. I know, it's insane when you think about it. But yeah, I mean, apparently there's Bon's just another carbon.
That just made me several more.
Oh, I know. Poor Ishikawa is going to be receiving several follow-ups to that response, I think.
Well, maybe you shouldn't answer one question for 10 more questions. That's like, okay, it's like, so are the other carbons also robots? Like, I thought they were just what the heck?
It's extremely confusing. I wish I had more answers here. Matt is also asking, is Teasel Bon supposed to be part cyborg like Barrel? I know that they are, this era's version of Dr. Light and Wily respectively, but I wonder about the eyes and steel limbs. I don't think there's anything that... I mean, crap, if we're going by the notion that Bon is just another carbon, I don't think there's anything peculiar about Teasel and Barrel being carbons as well, despite the fact that they have these... Looks to check out Ishikawa's Twitter. This question and answer session he's been doing has been extremely fascinating. And while I'd have to admit some of the responses and questions are to interpret in English, they are, you know, they're still neat. They're still cool. Still humans in Mega Man universe gone, since all humans in Mega Man Legends were made by a machine? That question is also addressed by Ishikawa. And that one's also a bit difficult to make out. I don't think Ishikawa has the best grasp of the English language. But I would still encourage you to check it out, see what you can get out of it, and from it what you can. Still humans are gone. Since all the humans in Mega Man Legends were made by a machine, if they're all gone, with the notable exception of the Master, who also, of course, dies later, or earlier, I guess, before Mega Man Legends 2. Oh yeah, on the note of Ishikawa's question and answer session, he also got the question, how did the Master survive for, what was it, 2,000, 10,000 years on Elysium, even though he was essentially a real human being? And Ishikawa responded that he didn't know for sure, but he guessed that there was really advanced technology on Elysium that enabled him to survive for as long as he did. You see, when he travels back to Terra, you know, his life support kind of goes out. So I think it is something more to do with Terra than his genetic makeup. Which also begs the question, you know, if the Master could survive up on Elysium for as long as he did, probably life support systems that can support Mega Man up there as well. Despite, like, even if he didn't have any food or anything.
I mean, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, so maybe after, like, if Legends 3 does come out, and it goes by the... Like, if it says that Mega Man's been stuck on Terra for, like, 7 to 10 years, which is probably the time in which we'll get Legends 3, maybe it'll be like, I don't know. He doesn't really look all too differently, because the technology on Elysium was very helpful for him in maintaining his state.
Nanomachines, son.
Looks like you've made it to the residential area. Does it bring back any memories?
Well, it's bringing back memories, alright.
Sure.
Speaking of memories, where's Data? I need to back up some of my memories.
Oh, he's pretty close by here. You just gotta go through a puzzle. Just gotta travel through some doors. Oh, I've always loved this place, the Mother Zone. See, this is the one place where I'll think of whenever I think about Mega Man's just time on Elysium. You know, just like chilling out in this section and making the most out of the scenery as he can.
That's where I'd want to be.
It is really a nice looking place.
I was stuck on Elysium. This is where I'd want to be. I guess I'm going back this way.
Yeah, this is just a really nice, almost poetic, you know, place. And you know, I want to say that if I were stuck up on Elysium, I almost wouldn't mind being in an area like this.
Asking the same question.
Treasure chests here, and that's one of them. I think there are 2 more,
Yeah,
maybe only 1.
What is this?
Break this place.
If you look right here, it's pretty crazy that actually there is a hidden data always kept under the level at all times. That's my boundary break impression. Thank you very much. Oh, you're too kind. You guys are too kind. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, hooray.
That's right.
School Map was also saying back here, we're assuming that the Ancients aren't human. Okay, that's a good point, too. I really don't know if the Ancients are supposed to be human or not. That they aren't, honestly? because I mean, like Geats and Gats can transform. I mean, they're ancients. Geats and Gats are essentially ancients, and they have the ability to transform into these really weird mechanical contraptions that almost resemble Reaver bots. So I mean, I guess it's possible that humanity brought itself to a point where they could do that at some point, but to resemble humans much in my mind. Oh, and they look so differently from the Master too. So, not to bring in racial differences, of course. How did the Mega Man universe get to the point that it is? How did the humans, to keep it kid-friendly, went bye-bye? I really don't know. I would guess it's the flooding.
They all had a big hot dog contest, and they ate too many hot dogs, and they all choked. And
I don't know where that came from, but I'm going to accept it as canon.
and the robots at the time didn't know how to do the Heimlich maneuver, so they all died. I mean, the master of the Heimlich maneuver actually is Mega Man X, but you know he was kept sleepy by Dr. Light during that time, so. When he woke up, the biggest, most awful, most tragic hot dog eating event in human history had finished by that point. True story.
Minutes, actually. That's, man, that is tragic.
That's why I did say it was the biggest, most awful, most tragic hot dog eating contest in human history.
Oh, I saw someone asking about Red Ash back there, too. No idea what's happening with that. There has been nothing.
Your guess is literally as good as ours. I think they haven't mentioned anything for like 2 years now, I feel like.
It's been a long time now. I mean, I don't know what to think of it right now. I mean, I hope it comes out. I think we can really use more Legends-esque games like that. But at the moment, I have no idea. I don't think anyone has any idea what's going on with it. A new update on the Mega Man Legends 3 fan recreation project. Okay, so that's a project we've been receiving. It's kind of on the same vein as Red Ash, but the last update came a lot more recently than Red Ash. We're talking, and this is still quite a while ago, but the last update was posted on December 31st of last year, so 2017, and they mentioned in that update that they would be essentially continuing work on the project throughout the year. So, you know, giving some hope down the line that the project's on, and there would be more updates throughout the year. But so far, we've received no more updates from that project since that time. So it is now August 3rd. We're 8 months into the year now, so that project hasn't been updated in 8 months. It's hard to tell what's happening with it, given that long wait. But I'd like to think it's still in production. Heck, I hope it's still in production. That trailer was looking phenomenal, and like the live streams that the team did on the side as well, showing their progress from the game, and like fine-tuning models and gameplay animations and game. That was all looking phenomenal. So I really hope it's still in development. It's entirely possible that the team is just keeping it quiet because they don't have a whole lot to share, even if they are making little updates on the side. But I really don't know. All I can say is that I seriously hope it is still being worked on, because I want to play that. Honestly, with every fiber of my being, I want to play that.
Where's Data at? Better be here. Can't even get in here. Oh yeah, I can. Oh, there he is. My little monkey pal.
Rush coming up now.
The what now?
Boss rush coming up.
Oh, yeah. It's alright. Well, maybe I should. Which one takes me back to Sarah?
That one isn't working.
This one doesn't work. Okay.
The big one works. The small one doesn't.
I like this one.
Want to get back to Sarah, you have to go outside.
Okay. So the one all the way over here.
That's the one that takes you back to the area. That is what it's called, right? The shuttle.
Yeah. Shuttle bay.
Gotcha.
I can't wait. What happened to the biometals? Okay, so all the biometals are having a big hot dog contest, right?
I'm just gonna shut up here now, Josh. I think you've proven yourself to be infinitely more competent in expanding upon Mega Man Legends lore.
I'm just gonna have to go on Reproid Revo and have to explain the hot dog fiasco.
I can just see Gilliam. Hey, guess what, everyone? We have a special guest. It's Yoshinator from Get Me Off the Moon, who has proven himself to be very competent in Mega Man Legends lore.
Yep, so it all started with this one hot dog, right? Let me tell you.
Gaming's response warrants a serious reply. So, I don't know what happened to the biometals. Actually, let me just read this question out. What happened to the biometals, since this is the main series future in the 81st century? Would the biometal be in one of the ruins? That's a good question. Yeah, that's a really good question. Who knows? Either they could have been preserved or they could have been destroyed, I think. I mean, even if they were destroyed, I want to say that the souls of, or the cyber elves of X and Zero and all the other guardians who were kind of contained in those biometals, I want to say that if their respective biometals were destroyed, they would just go on to cyberspace and kind of live on through that dimension. But I mean, it's hard to tell if they were destroyed or they were preserved. I really don't know, honestly. And of course, there is no confirmation on that in the timeline.
ZX Island is too small to be considered referenced again in the future. So
that is the case.
Hot dog doesn't exist in Mega Man universe? What? Yeah, they do. Of course they do. But I could find a picture of Mega Man eating a hot dog right now. I mean, they got pigs.
I mean, wasn't there... Hey, they have bacon too, if you remember the platter that Mega Man presented to Roll at the beginning of the game.
See? It's God, you kids these days trying to disprove hot dogs? Come on. Jeez. This is the one, right? Yeah. I've never seen them in games, so they don't exist. Why is there an enemy here now? Get out of here.
Legit theory about the biometal. The metal ultimately became sentient and became the original Reaver bots. Already sentient, though, if X and Zero and all the other Guardians could speak through them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you implying, old school Matt, that hot dogs do exist in the Mega Man universe? Haven't you played Woodman's level in Mega Man 2? Aha, 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 I get it. Aha.
What was I gonna say? What about a crazy dumb theory that makes no sense? The biometals become the pets from Battle Network. Clearly, that has
Oh
to
my.
Is there
let's
anything out there?
let's not think about that too hard.
It's canon now. Get out of here. Oops. Where is this guy?
I'm actually kind of curious now, Old School Matt. Are you implying that the sentience of the other Guardians from the biometals were transferred over to the Reaverbots? Like, are you saying that the Reaverbots, the sentience that the Reaverbots display comes from X and Zero and all the other Guardians through the biometals? Mutated and became more primal? Like wild animals. I mean, that's true, although I just don't see how it works.
Yeah, I don't either. You might be grasping at straws in this one. I really hope you're not making those theories in California. They'll get you right now.
I mean, I'm always doing that, and I live in California.
Oh, you better watch out! They're gonna get you. Oh, there's
I'm defying the law.
Junior, I can't believe you'd be doing that. Kids these days and their crazy straw wars.
Draw wars. Alright, so problem with that theory. The biometal have the personality of those who are based off X and Zero, and the others would harm living creatures. Wrong. Based off the personalities of those based off X and Zero, and the others would harm. Okay, I think I see what you mean, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say. Man, we just have too little information.
That's why we need another one.
That's right.
Come on, Reggie, give us another game. I know you're listening.
Yeah, Reggie also always tunes into our live streams.
Yep. Hey everybody, I'm here
Confirmation
watching
of that.
Game Off the Moon live stream. It's pretty great. It's got Fortnite and the Battle Bus. And, alright, that's all the time I've got. I gotta get back to playing Animal Crossing.
I was gonna say, that impersonation wouldn't have been complete without that famous line.
I could have thrown him in my body as well, but I didn't have time. He had to get back to Animal Crossing, so. Oh yeah, I forgot. I gotta do the trick. Oops, that's not the trick. This is the trick.
Hello to Shadow. Nice to have you on board our stream.
What?
And I like how your name is eloquently displayed in Leet.
Yep. Takes me all the way back to 2007. Shadow, thanks for the follow.
Oh, you follow us too, eh? Hey, thanks for that. We appreciate it. I'm rereading this comment because Impersonation Gaming fixed it. Alright, some problem with the theory. The biometal have the personality of those who they are based off, and the others would not harm living creatures. Okay, I see what you mean. So you wouldn't... the Guardians... the Guardians are like hardwired in such a way to where they are not comfortable with... Yeah, just living creatures. Because, I mean, well, of course they were kind of like employed in New Arcadia for the purpose of helping humanity, or so they thought. And that's what their purpose was when you think about it. And Zero, not so much, I guess, because he was kind of like just doing stuff for the sake of those he believed in. But X and all the other Guardians, you know, their whole life's goal was with protecting living creatures. So, a valid point there that you know, they wouldn't harm anything that just came down to the ruins that was alive and breathing and the presence of life. The back of the crowd. Come on, Reggie, give us Mother 3!
How about this? That's when he burns that guy alive with a fire flower.
I was gonna say, we gotta be a bit careful if we're asking Reggie for Legends 3, because we might end up in that same state.
Yeah, I can't deal with 2 things. Oh, I can't.
Nice. Easy.
Yeah.
I can't believe you can do it, honestly.
Oh, it's dead. Plus that attack goes on.
Also, you're getting life.
He gets life, yeah. There's not much I can do about that. Man, the attack on my Buster is maxed out. Look how little I do.
Trigger was loyal to the Master, who was the last human. Why would Trigger have memories of the residential areas besides the Master's home? Maybe the Master, while the last human wasn't the only human Trigger was close to at one time. Having a hard time processing that.
Oh, he does way less than her.
Yeah, Terra is in fact Earth. I don't think it's another planet. It could, be anything could be possible there. I always thought that Terra was Earth, but it's possible. I mean, I'm not going to rule out the possibility, given just how crazy the Legends world is, that Terra is just another planet, and Earth is still around, and the human colony and so on Terra went bye-bye. This guy is really being persistent.
Alright, you dead. You literally don't have any more health yet. What are you doing? Okay,
He's got to go out with a bang.
Cat. Jelly jigglers these days, I swear.
Yeah, it would take centuries for the Earth to regenerate after the messes from previous eras.
It'll get better.
Especially... with the... Okay, you see, I don't really know what to think about the Eurasia collision, because for those of you who played Mega Man X6, you'll know that there's a time paradox. It's like the game goes by... I don't quite know how it goes, but it's like the game series kind of like showed that the good ending in Mega Man X5 was the canon one, but then Mega Man X6, it goes by the bad ending, I think. There's a time paradox there, so it's hard to know whether you should really think that the Eurasia incident was canon. No, the problem comes with Mega Man 04. 04 explicitly mentions the Eurasia incident. Yeah, so they mentioned that the colony crashed, but in X6, that the launch was a success and the colony was destroyed before it hit Earth. So that's where the time paradox comes in. That's it, yeah. You have Mega Man X6, which goes by the good ending, and then 04, which goes by the bad ending. And they're both supposed to be on the same timeline. So, what the heck, guys?
Hey!
Really massacring you.
I was about to say, like, am I playing Mega Man X3 right now or something? Like, what's all these bullets all over the place? Come on, get out of here.
Wait till you get to X6, bro. Wait till you get to X6.
I don't wanna.
Mega Man X7 is that it has an extra dimension that allows you to maneuver around these bullets easier. Mega Man X6, you only have one dimension. You know, you're on one plane, so it's infinitely harder to dodge everything that's coming at you. Gilliam's wise words. Yeah, I know, we should just get him on board here. Hey, if any of you guys follow Gilliam on his Discord, tell him to come by here. We'd love to have him on.
Yeah, tell him we gotta inform him about the hot dog incident. Catch him up.
Yeah, just watch if he makes a video on that. I mean, I can ask him myself.
It's gotta be his April Fools. This guy is dead. I want all this money.
Is the moon elevator in X8 the elevator of Elysium? There is... That is the case. Surprisingly enough, it doesn't come from Mega Man Legends 2. It comes from the 5-Island Adventure game. At the end of that title, like at the very ending of that game, there's a cutscene that I don't want to spoil anything too much because we are going to be getting to that moment in our Mega Man Legends 5-Island dub series.
It looks like defeating that guardian.
Just to kind of touch upon it, the Elysium elevator is mentioned. Or in elevator, no, I shouldn't say the Elysium elevator. A Elysium elevator is mentioned. And I don't know if it's the same one as the one that's... Take any elevator that goes from Terra to Elysium in Legends 2, so... Yeah, it might not be the same elevator from the shuttle bay. But, yeah, the game explicitly mentions a orbital elevator that goes from... to Earth, or no, Terra to Elysium. So, I mean, whether that is the same elevator from Mega Man X8, but, and, you know, the Neo Arcadia orbital elevator for that matter, which has been shown to be the same elevator as the one from X8. So, but I don't know, all I'll say is that there is reason to suggest that elevator in on Elysium, you know, was used in the past.
I feel like Buster is actually doing a tiny bit more.
Yeah, you got some good attack going. It's just that these Reaver bots are... I mean, they're on very hard mode. You can't forget that.
Keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that.
Cool boss. Like, man, it doesn't make any sense architecturally, but it's just a really cool looking boss.
Like for how tall this guy is, he decides to walk around on all fours anyway. I mean, I know that's mostly a limitation thing because of the PS1, but I still think it's kind of funny.
Like, man, he must be huge when he's standing on 2 feet.
Yeah.
If he ever does. Do you think he does? I don't know.
Yeah, when he's walking by, he's kind of big over there. I mean,
His arms lifting down when he's walking by.
He does?
Woo! Well, he has kind of... Whoa. Yeah, he's walking on 2 legs, but his arms are kind of like hunched over. You know, not touching the ground, but kind of just like hunched over in the manner of an ape.
I don't know. Oops. Rather than paralyzed, I would have been pretty mad about that. Alright, you're dead. Get out of here.
Gotta love that fade out.
Yeah, it just disappears. Like, well, I guess I died.
I always found that was pretty weird myself, that he's like the only one who just up and disappears.
Yeah, I don't remember that happening at all.
Of course, when you're fighting him the first time, it just transitions into a cutscene.
Yeah.
Trigger wasn't the only human Trigger knew. The Master was the last to die, yes, but what if Trigger knew other humans who died before the Master? It's possible. I mean,
It's possible. I don't think that matters much.
well, I mean, I think that's. Well, it factors into the grand scheme of things. I stand by this. After the Master died, Trigger couldn't use the pod to return to Elysium, so he went to the elevator and Sarah confronted him there, and that fight destroyed the elevator. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about this last week, I think. I think that's a pretty good theory. I mean, there's gotta be some reason why Yuna or Sarah didn't mention the presence of that elevator on Elysium. So it could easily just be because the thing got just totally destroyed in that big fight between Mega Man and Sarah.
I forget. Are we on the final boss right now or no? I forget.
Now,
No?
yes, we are.
Oh, we are. Oh. Well, I definitely need to go fill up my tanks and stuff. So I don't want to go in there. That's just scary.
I'm gonna test your limits on very hard mode, especially.
Yeah, no, I need to. All right, guys. It might have to be the final grinding session right now.
Well, that's fine. We're having a pleasant chat here anyway.
Yeah. So how long we've been going? Okay. So we're still good. We're still not too bad on stream time.
Mega Man Trigger, a machine or a living person?
Yeah. Save them back, prepare. Good thinking, good thinking.
The moon elevator in X8. Elevator from Elysium. Yeah, that's what I was kind of responding to earlier. And just to break it down, what I said previously, it could be. It's very possible that it is. We'll say that much. Like, there is definite reason to assume that it could be the same orbital elevator. But man, that has some crazy implications. Like, we're talking... That almost implies that Elysium is Neo Arcadia as well. Neo Arcadia, but the space base from Neo Arcadia that, like, was in the first Zero game. I'm willing to entertain that possibility just because it seems so wild. But, I mean, hey, it's possible.
Should I bring this weapon with me to fight the final boss?
You don't know. I mean, it's a solid weapon, but you might not have enough energy.
No, it's literally infinite energy. It's just the green
Oh,
bar
yeah.
to worry about.
Be ideal then. Obviously, Shining Laser would go better, but we might not have time for that.
Yeah, I don't want to spend the next 8 days grinding just for one thinking weapon. Well, I'm not thinking weapon, but it takes too long.
Impersonation Gaming is saying, my personal thought is that Mega Man Zero takes place in the ending of X5, and Legends is the future of the bad ending of X5. Oh, okay, so you're talking like a time split then.
Like Zelda.
It's cool too, but I don't know, maybe. They're really good theorizers. It's quite inspiring to see, I must admit. Probably whatever Juno is. Trigger was rebuilt, can be scanned and such. Well, I don't know, because, I mean, Trigger's a purifier unit. Juno's a bureaucratic unit. And I think, I mean, if there are different units, wouldn't that stand to reason that they are not, like, the same thing, like the same model? That's what I think, anyway.
Zero got rebuilt so many times it should be a meme like Krillin. Pretty much is. I mean, what are the X games? What do the beard guys call Zero out on it? forgot which one it was.
Dynamo does it.
Yeah.
Dynamo. He, I think I could quote that verbatim. He says, "You must be busy dying so many times."
Yeah. And hiding himself while he repairs himself. These crazy kids these days. Where was I going again? Oh, yeah, right.
To come right out and say that Zero's like the Iron Giant, and he could just rebuild himself, like, you know, automatically.
It's just very handy capable that way. Oh, wait, hold on. Forgot to bring my funny vacuum.
Yeah, that's a really funny vacuum. Cracks me up every single time.
Yep. Okay, we also got all the weapons too. We got the shining laser, like first thing in the stream today. So
Nice.
we got that part of the 100% done.
Yeah, good job. Well, unfortunately, we can't get complete
Yeah.
100%, but...
99.99%.
For those of you who missed it, last week we,
Not last week.
Oh, the week before, yeah, the week before we missed out on the subquest, quest that you can initiate on Calbania Island with Shu and her brothers. Apparently, that's unmissable.
Yeah, apparently.
Immediately after you clear Calbania of Glide's forces. And if you don't do it within that time frame, like if you don't do it immediately after destroying Glide's fortress, then you can't do that thing again. Aren't the same model, but I think they are the same race. By the way, remember how Trigger is a bureaucratic unit in charge of Juno's former district, isn't he? And I don't think was he given the title of bureaucratic unit when he assumed the authority over Catalogs? Because I was under the impression he was just like, he stayed a purifier unit, but he was given the authority over the district, you know, just by eliminating Juno from, just like removing Juno just gave him immediate authority over that place. Under the impression his unit changed. Although what you say there about distinguishing fact that the differentiation between the same model and the same race, that's a good point, I think. You know, they might not necessarily be the same model, but they could still be the same thing, you know, just like how you have different computer models, but can still be called a computer, essentially. So, you know, it might be something like that. Oh, wow, fell right in your head. So, how can you explain him not doing that next one? After overloading himself to destroy Vile's carrier, he said, and I quote, "Auto repair systems can't handle it." Okay, well...
They got better.
I mean, that might be it. I mean... I don't know. Who knows? How... This is one of the many mysteries of the Mega Man Legends lore, how Zero consistently manages to repair himself.
I don't know. It's like you said earlier, maybe he just does that Iron Giant thing.
Well, I mean, then you gotta ask the same question that C. Felix is asking. How does he... Because he mentions in auto repair systems, and how they can't handle the damage. So, I mean, that seems to imply there are auto repair systems in, you know, in Zero's, like, DNA, but damage too much, it's like they go on shutdown.
Just
I didn't build these robots.
Just blame Capcom and Inafune for liking Zero too much. That's what it is. Because they're like, nah, we gotta bring him back. But how are we gonna do that? We killed him. It's like, we'll find a way. Don't worry about it. There you go.
Pretty much. Takes place in the good ending of X5. I think you mean to make Man X6. Because the bad ending, where you kill Zero, any of Zero is erased. And the end of the bad ending, they talked about building an Elysium, which proves a time split. Yeah, well, I mean... Okay, this begs the question whether that Elysium that X built is the exact same Elysium that we see in Mega Man Legends 2. Keep in mind that in the Japanese version of Legends, it's not called Elysium, it's called Heaven. But I think in the Japanese version of Mega Man X5, where X mentions building an Elysium, that's still Elysium. So, that's an important thing to consider, I think. You know, that difference in the naming scheme. Like, on one hand, we have, in the Japanese version, a place called Elysium, and on the other hand, we have a place called Heaven. So that would appear to imply that in the Japanese versions of the game, which are, of course, the canon versions, there are two different places. But, I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, it could be anything.
Old School Matt says, since Capcom is a Japanese-based company, should we look at the Japanese version version of terms instead of English dubbing? I think that's a general rule of thumb, is whatever is in the Japanese version is usually canon. Because, I mean, they're the ones that made it, so...
Yeah, I mean, in theory, that's the best way to do it, but we didn't grow up on those Japanese versions, so
yeah,
it's kind of hard for us to consistently use those Japanese terms.
Sometimes things that get lost in translation are just changed entirely, like, you know, like the Shadow Realm, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So on the X collections, oh wait, Elysium is defined paradise after death, like in a dictionary, or? So that's basically is pretty much what heaven sounds like, which is probably why they called it that, but then, you know, especially in the 90s, don't want to have religious references in your video games, so gotta change it to Elysium. What am I doing? Abode. The abode of the blessed after death in classical mythology. Other definitions means paradise. Yeah, so basically, like, heaven just without religion. I still say Elysium. But if I'm gonna try back to get using Japanese terms, helps a lot. The prototype and the unit equals original human. Yeah, I don't like you know, like I'm saying. Like, stuff gets lost in translation. Skybait disconnected. I was wondering why he was being quiet. So he'll be back momentarily. I don't know. It's always hard to tell. But I guess I don't know if what he's saying. I mean, I'm pretty sure what he's saying is true. I'm not gonna say he's a liar, but I don't really know because I haven't confirmed it for myself. But if X5 just calls it Elysium, and then Legends 2 calls it Heaven, like, I don't know. I mean, they could still be the same thing. Like, it kind of makes me think of like Kingdom Hearts 2, where it's called Hollow Bastion in Kingdom Hearts 1. But then in Kingdom Hearts 2, it's like, wait, this place used to be called Radiant Garden, and then they start calling it that. Could be like a thing like that, where, you know, it started off as Elysium, and then it got switched to Heaven in the Japanese version, or just stayed Elysium in the English version. So I don't know. You never know. You never know these days with these kids and their translations and I don't know if it's X6 or X5 that had really poor translation. I know one of them might have. I forget which one. What else matter? They changed the X5 bosses' names. Well, I mean, the Guns N' Roses references were just kind of done just like as a joke, and then I guess they kept it, so... Honestly, because I didn't grow up with, like, Duff McWhalen or anything, it doesn't really matter to me. I do think Duff McWhalen is a really funny name, so I do like that name, but I think his name's like Title something. I don't know. It's fine to me. It's, you know, it is what it is. If they wanted to be more original to the Japanese roots, that's fine. But I mean, they could have had a version where they didn't change it. And like, because I mean, all the X Collection games include at least the English release and the Japanese release, so they could have just not changed it at all. But if they felt like they wanted to be authentic, then, you know, let them be authentic. Like, I don't know. To me, it's very Tidal Whale, yeah. To me, it's very I don't know, inconsequential. I guess it's pretty harmless. They can just do whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, it's their game. If they want to change the names to the original Japanese name, then so be it. I did see, I haven't, like, confirmed it for myself. I don't know if you guys check out the YouTube channel called Censored Gaming. They usually go over, like, when stuff gets changed, usually because of regional differences. I guess in the X Collection they censored X4 somehow, but I haven't seen the video yet. So I don't know if maybe it's just funny haha clickbait, but it usually doesn't do that. But come on, Duff McWhalen is better than Tidal Wave. Well, I mean, Duff McWhalen just makes me think of the beer from The Simpsons. And then McWhalen just, I don't know. I think Duff McWhalen sounds like a goofy name, while Tidal Whale is kind of like a more boring name, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. That's my personal opinion, IMO. How much money do I got now? I probably got enough to upgrade the thing a bit. I hope you guys don't miss this grinding session. This is pretty much going to be the last time I'm ever going to have to do it. Yeah, I don't know. Well, honestly, I think that raises more questions. But I don't know. I'm not too into the Mega Man lore, so I can't get into it as well. Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird thing about the 90s. Like, every region had, like, their own thing, and, like sometimes, like, they would, like, literally change the main character to be something different, and they would do crazy stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys remember that one game, an old NES game on the, it was on Angry... Stop it. It was on Angry Video Game Nerd. It's called Sunday Fun Day. You play as a skateboarding kid who has to get to Sunday school, but the original one is like you have to go and save your girlfriend. And in the Japanese one, in between the levels, her clothes would start rotting. But in the English one, where he's going to church, the you would get Bible verses in between levels. So I don't know. Region stuff, especially back then, was weird. It's definitely, I'm glad it's not like that anymore. Like, I can't think of it being like that at all anymore. I can't even think of anything doing anything close to that. But yeah, I mean, like when this game was coming out, we were kind of like starting to get over that, but it's still kind of there. So, you know, stuff gets lost in translation, and it is what it is, but we all can figure it out now. How much do I got now? Yeah, that's good enough. I'm getting bored of grinding. We spent like I swear half of this run has been spent on grinding, and that kind of sucks, to be honest. I don't know. I wouldn't say this game mode is very fun. You have to spend way too much time just getting Zenny. I mean, I guess you don't have to, but I don't know. Well, I don't know. I feel like you kind of do and you kind of don't. Honestly, it's kind of this game's problem. I mean, like, it's just the Zenny, everything just costs way too much in this game. Like, you literally have to grind for hours and hours and hours and hours if you want anything. And lower difficulty is not too bad. You can actually do stuff. But on very hard mode, it's like you have to grind, or else your Buster will literally do nothing. Like, my Buster is max attack, and it doesn't feel like it at all. Oh, here we go. He has returned.
Hey, folks. Sorry about that. I loaded my computer.
You what with your computer?
Overloaded my computer.
Oh. Did
You could say it was overloaded.
Did you have to get a very important update?
No, it just crashed in the way it likes to do.
Oh, okay.
More luck with it recently, though. Like, that hasn't happened in, I think, like 3 weeks.
That's good.
Yes, for me, that's good.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We were just talking about how, like, back in the 90s, like, different regions would basically have, like, different canons between, like, the games. Like, Sonic's a good example, where, like, Impersonation Gaming says right here, like, Sonic in America, and actually, well, okay, the thing that's weird about Sonic, right, he has his American comics that follow their own canon, and then they have European comics that follow their own canon, which in the European comics, Super Sonic is actually a bad guy, which is weird. And then it's like Japan, I don't think they really did much like Sonic manga, like anything, to be honest. But I don't know. It's crazy. That's the 90s for you.
I think Mega Man had anything like that.
Well, he does have his own. He did have Archie comics, but.
That's true, yeah. The Hitoshi Riga mangas are another great example, I think. Yeah, what about within the games, though? It seems like they've been pretty good for the most part.
Yeah, they don't do anything too crazy. Let's see. Oh, there was a Sonic manga? Okay. I don't know about them. They're not as popular then as at least the Archie comics. I don't know, because I've never heard of the manga. Let's see. So we have, what's our canteen looking like now? 34. Okay, that should almost be good enough for the final boss. I do want to see if maybe I can make Volnut a little not so good guy. Let's pray to a Tua. What if I just give him a lot of little ones?
That works.
Is it based
Probably
off
be
of-
contributing the same amount as the big amounts.
Yeah. Oops. Hold on. Man. Seriously? Wow, it's not changing at all.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it would. Gotta donate a ridiculous amount. I want to say even that,
Yeah, wow, okay, now
I want to say it's the highest one.
we're just gonna reload our save and get more energy canteens then. It's not worth it.
It's not really.
Yeah.
Like, you did all the subquests that you needed to do to be like Mega Man, and, you know, there's really nothing to it anymore.
Yeah. You are seeing a change? Oh, yeah, I guess I was a tiny bit lighter, but do you guys really want to see me grind again to be like Mega Man? I definitely don't. Repent. Nah, we're just gonna get more energy canteens. That's fine.
Hey, Hyper Shadow! Oh wow, long time no see. How have you been doing? Nice to see you again.
Alright. Nice, even 40. Should be good.
Nice.
Alright, let's go ahead and go to Elysium and see if we can beat this game once and for all. How has everyone been liking the new Mega Man games that have been coming out this year? If you mean the collections, they're pretty good. I would definitely say the classic collection I like more, just because I'm the classic fan. And not only that, they don't have as much input lag as the X collection has.
Yeah, Josh is starting to notice that input lag now.
Yeah, it's really bad in the Tunnel Rhino stage in X3 and horrible, absolutely horrible on the one platforming segment in the first Sigma level on X1.
Mm-hmm.
It's dreadful, let me tell you.
From that, we have greatly been enjoying the new Mega Man announcements that have been coming out, and man, it's a great time to be a Mega Man fan right now because there is a ton of news coming out currently about, man, like we're talking new TV shows, new obviously new collections. Mega Man 11 is of course the biggest announcement coming out of that, and that's kind of, I think, spurred all the activity. Like everything's come from there. But yeah, it's been really nice to have all that activity surging through the now, and not just the community, but the Capcom. Moreover, I mean, the community has essentially always been pretty active. You know, in these last 7-8 years now that it's been since series with the franchise went kaput. But I feels like
Oops.
the community is even more active now than it was, you know, all that time ago, and which is great to see. You know, I feel like we're all feeding each other to keep this franchise alive and thriving. Great feeling, you know, like I feel like a lot of that just comes from the fact that we were starved for so long, had to go so long without our Mega Man food, and that's why we're all happy and thriving right now. in any case, it's a great feeling to just be amidst a community that is really just appreciating, everything Mega Man that's coming out right now, really. And yeah, I hope to that Mega Man 11 just boosts that even higher. Boosts that hype through the roof. It's gonna be a blast, or at least I hope it will. I have pretty high hopes for that game from what I've seen so far. But in all honesty, guys, I'm actually trying to avoid spoilers currently because I don't want to. You are? Okay, huh?
I don't even watch movie trailers, so the game trailers for this game especially, I'm like, nope, don't want to watch it. We watched the initial trailer all together, and I saw like half of the fight with the fire boss, and that's all I've seen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's I don't think I've watched any of the boss trailers at all, or the stage trailers that have gone along with those bosses. But yeah. I mean, I'm aware when these trailers hit, but I don't watch any of them because I want to be surprised when the actual product hits. So yeah, I mean, and that's gonna be a blast. By the way, I know I'm gonna just love going into that game completely blind. Just being surprised by every little thing that comes, comes to my attention. And there's nothing that can really quite beat that feeling of going through a game that you really have no experience with, either through trailers or for having played it firsthand. So, that's kind of one of the feelings I'm trying to replicate by not watching any of these trailers. But yeah, I mean, that said, I'm fully aware that the community is appreciating these all the footage from 11 so far with every fiber of their beings, and that's great. It's whetting their appetite, I suppose.
Yeah. It's a big improvement over 2011, that's for sure.
That's not saying much. Do you think they should do a Legends collection? Absolutely. Oh, no doubt about it. And I'm hoping for a Legends collection, not so much for just kind of reviving those 3 games in the series that were released for PS1 all that time ago, but more so for the hype it will revive in the Legends fan base. Like in the same way that the classic legacy collections reinvigorated the classic fan base, and the X collections have revived the X fan base. I'm hoping that the same thing happens with Legends. So I mean, in that respect, I'm not so excited to play these Legends collections just to replay these games. I mean, heck, my PS2 is still working. I can still play my original copies. But I'm really hoping that they do still release a Legends collection in order that the fan base is just that the Legends fan base gets something, and are kind of re-hyped to a degree, because there's no doubt about it. The Legends fans have been treated the worst in these last. I mean, you could argue that ZX hasn't gotten a whole lot of attention, but in my mind, getting no attention is better than having a game that you were highly anticipating outright canceled, which was right under your hands, So, in that respect, and in the respect that Legends was going to get a new sequel that we were anticipating for 10 years, that was pulled out from under the rug, and just because of that, I want to say that Legends fans just haven't been treated well at all. And that's why I think that a Legends collection will be very much welcomed by the fan base. And, it would revive the hope. It would revive the hope in the Legends community, and kind of for campaigning for a Legends 3, I think. So yeah, just putting all that together, I think I'm really hoping a Legends collection comes out sometime down the line. It'll probably happen after X9 is released, which will undoubtedly be within the next couple years, I think. Yeah, great point, C. Felix. Excellent point. ZX is ignored, but they were never backstabbed and kicked while they were down. a phenomenal point, and that's exactly how I feel. I mean, I would love to see a ZX3, but I feel like Legends 3 should come before that, purely because the Legends fan base was denied a game. You know, just they got a game of theirs outright canceled, and they've had to, man, just deal with so much crap over these last 7 years.
Morphus Fim hosting the stream. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Nice to have you hosting. Nice to have you on board too by watching it. Yeah, I wouldn't. I want to say for as much mockery as we've gotten, we've also gotten a lot of attention, a lot of praise. Like I'm thinking of the reception we've got for our things like our documentary, which was extremely well received. Things like our rocket launch, which was extremely well received. Our 8-bit fan game that was also got a lot of attention, and you know things like our. You know, if you go to all the projects we've done, and like you'll Mega Man Network or Rockman Corner or Destructoid even or Nintendo Live, all these places that were covering those projects, and by extension, if you look in the comments section of those same announcement posts, you might be surprised to see a lot of positivity in there. So I feel like, as you know, starting out it was kind of rough, I think, for us.
There is no guarantee as to how effective such an
There's a lot of negativity around that time with the cancellation and all these other Mega Man games getting canceled. But I feel like as we've gone on in our career, you know, over these last 7 years, the fan base and the gaming community has pretty much widely accepted us for what we are. You know, like we've demonstrated that we're willing to go through with this to the end. We've demonstrated that we're willing to do all these projects to support this series. Oh, we've demonstrated that we're not doing this to push an agenda. We're doing this just because we love this series, you know? Getting Legends 3 out is one thing. No, that I'm not going to deny that's a definite motivation for us to continue these activities. But overall, I'm not going to deny it. The reason that at least I keep continuing this stuff, supporting this cause, is because I just love Mega Man Legends, you know? And that's why I say that even if Legends 3 were to come out at some point, I'd probably still be doing all these activities and stuff purely because I want to pay tribute to the Legends series, a game that I love and continue to love. So yeah, you know, I feel like at the end of the day, you know, we're becoming accepted not so much because we are trying to push an agenda, you know, trying to get something going, but more so just because we're showing that we, you know, we're doing all these things that give a living testament to the fact that we love, you know, and that's all that matters in the end, I think. You know, if we're having fun, if we're showing that we are doing something creative and not destroying anything, essentially, then that's great. I think that's cool.
I could have executed the carbon reinitialization program at any time, but I chose not to. Do you know why? Unlike you, I cannot act against the system. I can only act within the parameters it defines for me. Indeed, I cannot think of anything beyond the system's limits. That is why I cannot comprehend what could have motivated the Master to...
Yeah, see, Felix, honestly, I just want to say that they've gotten used to us by now. I mean, after 7 years, and, you know, this constant stream of activities that we've been doing throughout those 7 years, I mean, I would imagine that after a point, they would just get tired of, you know, mocking... You know, which is fine. I mean,
who is so sympathetic to the Master's desires. I can purge myself of
passive-aggressive silence. But really, I have been seeing a lot more positivity than that passive-aggressiveness, for lack of a better term. But this is a very intriguing cutscene, and now it just ended, so... Stuff there in what Sarah's saying, you know, like... I'm still thinking about what she means by like, she can't act against the system. She can only act within the parameters it defines for her. You know? And it's so funny to think that how different she is from Yuna in that regard. Like, somehow Yuna was able to separate herself from the system almost by, like, just by switching bodies. But Sarah seems to be a little more complex, and it almost seems like she feels that obligation to follow the master system more than anyone, which there's something noble in that to me, but man, it's she's, I mean, I can't quite figure it out, honestly. What do you feel if they reference the Legend series in Mega Man 11? Okay, well, here's so funny. I remember mentioning this on the page earlier, and there were some people who agreed, but a lot of folks who didn't agree. I firmly believe that, okay, they had a support car, like, there was this vehicle segment in one of the stages. I couldn't tell you which one, because, again, I'm trying to avoid Mega Man 11 spoilers, but I remember seeing a screenshot. Someone sent us a screenshot of a support, like this, of a van that was in, like, a vehicle segment in one of the stages, and that van very closely resembled, in my mind, the support car from Mega Man Legends. Now, I posted that on the page, like, and I want to say, like, 60-70% of the people disagreed with me, and felt like it just... Okay, well, you agree with me, and a lot of folks in our backstage team agree with me as well. But I was honestly surprised to see that there was a lot of disagreement on that front. But turning this back to Easter eggs, yeah, I do feel like that van in the game is a reference to Mega Man Legends, and I also hope that you know, there's going to be some. Well, you guys remember the Star Force skin that was shown off in Game Informer, like several months back. I'm hoping there's going to be a Legends skin as well, that you can, like, something you get through Amiibo maybe, but I don't know. But at any rate, I'm hoping there is going to be a Legends skin as well. And man, there are ideas circulating in my mind for potential ways we can turn that into a campaign. Like maybe have a bunch of folks post on social media with their Legends skin, like their Mega Man Volnix skin in Mega Man 11. But that's something for another time, I guess. Make a Legends collection. What features would you want added, such as more modern controls, updated graphics, and sound effects? Above. Just as much as they can do, I would like to see them do. Yeah, I would think that they would have to do something with the controls in order to make it appeal to modern gaming standards. Hard to implement, or at least I'd like to think that. Oh, man, getting wrecked.
I don't know if we'll be able to do this.
Oh, did you get Roll's lunch? Or rather, the lunch you can get in the... Okay. That's what it's called, right?
I'm gonna get the bad ending now, because I hate it.
Well, not necessarily. The more valuable item is the fried chicken. Because you can't get the fried chicken again, but the picnic lunch, if you use it, you can just go back into that refrigerator and get it again. Yuna can act against the system because Sarah is in charge of Elysium and Yuna is in charge of Terra system. Yuna protects carbons and Sarah protects humans. Oh, is that it? Okay. I gotcha. That missile launcher is doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Gats is attempting to assist you by invading my internal systems. I do not understand. A servitor unit such as Gats should be unable to disobey the system's commands. Still, a mother unit like myself is superior.
A very
to
important
servitor
story
unit.
point mentioned here.
His
This is
sabotage
essentially the
attempts
moment
are
where
nothing more.
Gats
When last we
dies.
struggled, You imprisoned
but you
me
don't
on
see him
Terra.
die on screen. You
Perhaps
just
this
kind of,
time
it's like
it will be
implied
you
that
who is
he,
imprisoned.
in the hacking attempt here, like he tried so hard to hack Sarah's systems that, and like he put so much into that attempt that he perished in the process. So very important story point there, because GATS was kind of like the vehicle that enabled Mega Man to go to and from Terra, from Elysium. So I mean, GAT's death, it means that they can't use that shuttle again to go back to Terra. Rip Gats. He was a nice guy. Very noble person.
Shall we continue?
Oh man, okay, Hyper Shadow, I do not know if I would like for them to redo the voice acting. Yeah, I don't see how they could replicate these performances. This is the most impossible attack to dodge.
Yeah. Sure is.
Oh, at least she uses it so frequently. They redo the voice acting so they can properly make the intended references to the X and Zero series. Okay, no, I didn't catch that part of the question. Such as when Volnet is called a Purifier Unit in Japanese, he's called an Irregular Hunter. The same name as X and Zero in the Japanese for a Maverick Hunter. Yeah. Okay, that I wouldn't be opposed to, but man, if it comes at the sacrifice of like these wonderful voice performances, then I'm not sure, honestly, because I really do love the voice performances in the Legend series, and I'm not sure they could get the voice actors to reprise their roles.
What the? Alright, fried chicken. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Well, if you could just get the dodging down. Sarah has quite prominent oven mitts, doesn't she?
Yeah.
This is where it really helps to have that second analog stick to control the camera.
You got it.
Nation Gaming saying, no, they should not redo the game. I like the way it is. You can't get the same level of voice acting quality. Yeah, I mean, there are certain aspects of Legends that I think could lend itself to, improvements, but the voice acting is not one of those things. Oh, this is nuts. Nice.
No,
Oh boy, you're gonna get pushed into the void.
that's not fair.
Really isn't.
Ah.
Good thing about oh, that was nuts.
I think I got it.
Yeah, I feel the same, Hyper Shadow. The only voice actor I would want to see replaced is Mega Man from Legends 2's voice actress. And yeah, I could never get used to Susan Roman myself as Mega Man. But I have talked to other people who do like that voice though.
Rimp and shrimp.
Everyone.
How you put rimp and shrimp?
Oh.
I don't have to die here too much. There we go. Good start.
Oh my gosh.
I hit a wall too over there.
And it's crazy. I want to tell you to roll, but the problem with rolling is that it takes valuable time away from the time you could be shooting at her.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would work out.
I was trying to jump.
Roll around that part easily. There we go.
It did hit anyway.
Was doing a run of this today and died in the Kalinka ruins. Dodge. Didn't think you'd do that. Attributed to that death hunted s'mores. Was it just like, were you playing on a harder difficulty?
Oh, alright.
At a contest at Capcom of America to play a role as a voice actor in Legends 3, would you sign up? Well, I wouldn't, but I could tell you someone who would. The illustrious Dash Troxum. And some of you might know her as the... Oh boy. Dying.
I think I'd be okay.
Dash voice acted the... or Mega Man in our Mega Man Legends 5 Island dub. And a couple other projects as well.
If they had Dr. Light in Legends 3, I'd go for it.
Yeah, who would be up to that role indeed?
That's the
Or
law.
X, like in case Peter Von Gone can't apply.
Yep. Come on. That is true, Hyper Shadow. It won't be canon unless that happens. Nope. That's fine, just turn to screen instead.
A fundamental flaw is that Yuna, I believe, is supposed to protect... Nice! Dodging, Josh! Man!
Easy. Ah.
Fundamental flaw is that Yuna, I believe, is supposed to protect the carbons until the carbon reinitialization program is to be activated. But what would stop her from protecting them from the carbon reinitialization program altogether? Yeah, see, I was wondering that when you were mentioning that she was kind of the one in control of Terra. She is supposed to be protecting Terra, and its inhabitants wouldn't stand to reason that also be... Is she entrusted with just Terra, or is she also entrusted with the inhabitants of Terra? It could just be that she's oversee just the world of Terra itself, and just like the environment and stuff, and you know she's not supposed to give a crap about any of the inhabitants there. Nice. Look at that dodging.
It's pretty nice when the roll hits it. Ah! Not that time. I started it too late.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, Sarah certainly does want to kill Trigger. I want to say that's just because she's jealous of him, though. Like, she's a teacher's pet of the master, or like she's thinking Mega Man's a teacher's pet of the master, and she wants to do something to validate herself.
More black hole bombs, okay? There's no way you can... Okay. I don't know how that happened.
Hey, it's enough that it happened. What if there aren't enough carbons to clone humans to? Humans really cloned? Or I mean, were carbons really cloned from humans, though? I can't remember. Oh, wow, that is the worst combination. The black hole bomb and the meteors. She's on it in. Nice. Oh, I thought you dodged it for a second there.
There's literally nothing I could have done there.
Yeah, that was kind of nuts. Lure you into a position where it's impossible to dodge any like a certain attack. Like if she uses that black hole bomb and then follows that up with the meteors, I really don't think you could dodge any. You could like avoid that attack. Or even with rolling. Oh, slick. You got this. How many more canteens do you have?
None.
Yo, you're doing pretty well. I'd say you got this.
I'm stuck in the black hole bomb. And
Oh, glorious. Here we go. There we go. Nice,
there.
you got
Wow,
it.
that was actually not too bad. Yeah, it definitely had a
No.
score for it. So.
I know. I didn't know how effective that missile would be. That was very impressive.
There you go. Having unlimited energy definitely made that a lot easier. Gave me a reliable weapon. Yeah. Ooh.
Whenever the master looked at me, I detected a sadness in his eyes. The more I obeyed the system and tried to serve the master, the sadder he seemed. Now, Trigger, thanks to you, perhaps the master will also smile at me as he did at you. Sarah! At last, I understand. Thank you, Trigger. Thank you. Sarah.
Don't think you're going to get off that easily, Sarah.
Oh, Yuna just swoops in here to crash the party. She's just like, stop being such a drama queen, Sarah. You know you're not dead, so get back to reality.
Over, right?
Yeah.
Gats is dead. He died because of your gamble. If you die as well, who will be left to keep me company?
Gats.
You can't fool me. I know you can hear me. Still going to ignore me? Then let me tell you something. Now that Elysium is no longer functioning, the old system the Master's people
Comes
shut down
in.
has started to reactivate.
The Elder
It's your
System.
responsibility to monitor it. If you
What
die
on
and it
earth?
takes over, the Master's work was for nothing. Do you want that?
Do you mean to say that the Elder System is becoming active again?
There are remnants of that system buried all over Terra in what the Carbons call ruins. There's so many, even I don't know how many there are. I doubt they'll be fully active soon, but eventually they will. If
This
we don't
part,
do anything,
this
just imagine what will
thing
happen to
here
Terra
is
and
what
all
I
its
call
people.
a semi
If the
cliffhanger.
elders and the
It's
machines
not a
activate,
genuine
what will
cliffhanger
your
because
sacrifice
there's
here
no
pay for?
immediate urgency attached
What do you
to the
say, sir?
situation that
Are you up for living with the people the
Yuno's
Master
alluding
left
to
behind?
here.
It could be a little wild, but
But
interesting.
it still is a cliffhanger in
Perhaps
in
it might
respect
be
that,
worthwhile.
I can't
like, it's still a
remember
foreboding
the last time
disaster.
I
You know,
saw
it's
you
something that is
smile,
going to
Sarah.
happen,
I'll think
and it's
about
not going to be nice when it
Once we
does
figure out a
happen.
way
Now,
to return to
Yuna
Terra.
says that, you know, she doubts that those
That's a very
systems are going to
good
be active
point,
soon.
Sarah.
So, you know, again, there
So
isn't
what are
really
we going to
any
do,
immediate
Mega
urgency
Man?
that would earn it the
If
title of
we
a
can't get
cliffhanger
back
in
to
my
Terra,
mind.
then I can't
But
give Roald her money
it's a
back.
semi cliffhanger because it's still
Is
something
that
that's
the
going to
only
happen.
thing you're worried about?
In my mind, that is the biggest. That's an
Don't
even
worry,
bigger
Yuna.
mystery to
Why?
me than
I know Roll.
Mega Man's ending up stuck on the moon,
She'll come looking for us.
or you know, just him
No matter
getting
what
down, how he
happens.
gets down. Who knows? Maybe it has to do with the hot dogs again.
Those hot dogs, man, let me tell you. Real curse of the Mega Man franchise is the invention of hot dogs.
Yeah, maybe so. If equals ZX transformations?
But yeah, that's it for Legends 2. There definitely isn't anything at the end, so I'll just go ahead and hit skip here. We'll be on our way.
It's a great song, though. That is a phenomenal soundtrack.
How did Data get down? He walked. He found out the secret of the hot dog massacre, and it gave him the power and the knowledge to get all the way back down.
Smith, oh, wonderful voice actor, absolutely phenomenal talent. Yuji Ishihara, he's working on Mega Man 11 now. Or art director, I think. He was also on board Mega Man Legends 3, for the record. This music makes me cry, darn it. I feel the same way. You know, I remember going through these credits recently after not having played Legends in a couple of years, and I was surprised to see just how many emotions it aroused in me. It was very much the same thing with the credits in Legends 1. Like, you know, with all the voice actors coming in and you're hearing all these voice clips from throughout your adventure, and it just brings you back and makes you think about what you've gone through and where you are now, and like just how you got to the point where you are, and it reminds you just why you love the game. Makes you reflect on why you think you enjoy the game so much anyway. But yeah, this ending, even though it doesn't have those very nice voice clips, still a great song, and I think it really does kind of capture the essence of the game in one theme. You know, like you got that bittersweet tune, but also kind of like that hopeful touch, like everything's gonna be all right. Mega Man hasn't gotten down on the moon, off the moon, but you know, I like to still think everything's gonna be all right. And Mega Man seems to feel that way himself when she'll come looking for us no matter what happens. was a purifier, correct? Were there others?
10 seconds to
It's
ignition.
hard to say. I don't know.
Everything ready? Southwestern wind, speed 1
Okay, then we have this
Just
scene.
able to know it's appearing. Fuel pressure stable.
Great scene as
All
well.
workers to the shelters. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Does that end credits remind me of X4? Say that if you feel that way, but maybe it has that same bittersweet melody.
Keep going. Oh, that's the 10th time we've tried. Maybe we should just give up. I got all excited when I heard that what's-his-name, the monkey, came back from outer space and was going to give us ancient technology. But it just
Something
doesn't
really
seem to live
poetic
up to
about all
the
these three
hype.
guys sitting on the bench, drinking coffee and watching a rocket launch.
That's not easily undertaken. There's bound to be
Hope that's
difficulties.
coffee anyway.
Yes, but it looks like they're on the right
And
track
so,
to me.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just hot green tea.
Okay, no, that's true. Yeah, you know, we don't have to think of any disturbing
We need to keep things simpler.
beverage.
That way,
It
less
could easily be
things
green
can go
tea.
wrong.
But if we build it this way, it will cost too much. If we take existing parts and put them together this way... See? Just look at how much money we can save.
I think if we modify the fuel injectors like this, it just might solve the problem.
It's really simple! Really simple! If you would just listen to me, I could show you! See? Look here! You stay out of this, Data!
We need to make
So you
it
should have listened to him.
smaller. We can save space and make it lighter that way.
I know, he
It
probably
doesn't
felt
Data
like,
is wisdom.
With this
Probably just
new
felt like a staircase or
amazing engine
something.
I designed, we will have more than enough power.
Your
Staircase
engine,
to
I'd
Elysium.
believe you if your
Yeah.
engines weren't made from spare parts and needed to be adjusted.
You'd think you
every
would have
5
noticed that on the
minutes.
way up.
Everybody has tons of
You
money
have to look
to
at it
build
from the right
your
angle.
kind of engine.
If you don't use the proper
Sorry,
materials,
Mega Man, but it looks like you might be stuck up there for a little while more.
Looks like we both got our work cut out for us.
How dare you? Anyway, I wonder how Mega Man's doing.
But he listens to the monkey. I know, it's a terrible tragedy. The worst tragedy in this game by far. I have to wonder if we really did take the time to listen to the monkey, if we really be able to handle what he's telling us. Can we handle the truth that exits the lips of that very profound little creature?
To the truth. 18 hours, 8 minutes, 16 seconds. That's a new record from me on very hard mode for a run done in.
That was a good run. I mean, maybe not as far as.
Literally had a grind every.
But hey, you did
time.
very hard mode.
Yep, I can put that on my resume.
Yeah, it was great. Now bring us part 3, Capcom, says Morpheus. Hey, oh man.
Yes,
I echo those sentiments completely.
up there for 18 years. That's why every hour was dedicated for every year. That's why I did that. What's next? I don't know. That's what I want to know. What is next? We got to put the big think on that one.
Technically, I do. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys want to see us play next? I mean, like, we do have that X collection, but
I'm kind of handling that on my own.
gonna be playing that in his own time, so I'm not sure if he's gonna be
I don't know if I want to do it again.
Kaizo Legends 1.
Oh, no. I don't like the sound of that.
What were you saying there?
I was like, I don't know. I was just saying,
I didn't hear what you said.
I don't want to, like, double my Mega Man X capacity, I guess I could say. So I'm already playing it on my own stream.
Yeah, okay. Trying to think if there have been any fan games that have been released recently. But I don't think there have.
Mega Man Battle Network 3 Blue. Oh yeah, I haven't done Mega Man Maker in a while. They have added a lot of new stuff. Like Proto Man Base, and now they got 6 and 7 in there. So
That's a good point, yeah. You know, let's Let's play that for now. See what's new on that field.
Yeah. And if you got any news, I do got one tiny thing I wanted to show off with the X collection here. Because like I said, I've been going through it, so I've been unlocking some stuff.
Uh-huh.
Let me go ahead and get that on the screen here. Let me hide that. A massive camp out right outside Capcom Global Headquarters? Yeah, why not?
I mean, I could essentially organize something like that since I live like 30, 40 minutes from their headquarters. Their U.S. branch is located in San Francisco, and I only live like 30, 40 minutes from there. So, I mean, hey, if you guys are up for something like that, let me know. Maybe we could camp out in front of that building. Now, I'm not sure if that would be legal, honestly.
It would almost be legal, which is my favorite kind.
For kind of what?
Favorite kind of legality.
What's your favorite kind of legality? Good to know.
Almost. Okay, so I've been going through this. I've been trying to 100% at least the first X collection, because I don't know if I can with the other one. But I've got 50% of the achievements. I think I got a thing today that said I have 50%. This one right here, this one was really stupid and hard for this covert ops one. I want to give you guys a pro tip right now. You have to do this mission or this achievement in one run. Okay? So, if you get spotted in the first part, just die. If you get spotted in the second part, restart the whole thing. So,
yeah.
I just want to let you guys know that right now. Also Skype, you probably saw my tweet, but I just want to show you guys a quick thing that I was like,
oh
man.
yeah, you mean with the bat?
Yeah.
Like freezing the bat.
I was really surprised I didn't think of that.
I did that earlier, but I was logged in with the Get Me Off the Moon Twitter, and I didn't want to switch.
Yeah, so this part, right, this is where you're on that little switch that goes left, right, up, and down. You gotta get it all the way up here. And like I was trying to do the speed run trick where you can there's like a tiny little area where you can actually get up on there using the wall jump. You can just wall jump to the top. And then I'm thinking like, wait a minute, it's a bat right here. And I'm like, oh. I felt so dumb because like on my stream, right, I got up to the top area and then I fell down, and instead of doing the bat thing, I took the whole thing back up there. But yeah, that's just a personal thing. But anyway,
for the record, you need to travel on a big stupid platform in order to get to that point.
Yeah, and it's really dumb and annoying. What else was I gonna say? But yeah, so I got half the achievements here. You do get some stuff for it, so I'll just go ahead and load up something. Load up this one.
I just want to mention something real quick here myself. See, Felix here is going to be apparently hosting a stream of X2, I assume in the Legacy Collection, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So hey, if you guys want to tune into more Mega Man tonight, tune into his stream. He's nice guy, you know, always tuning into our stream. So, you know, you could probably find a lot of appeal in his playthrough. So yeah, check that out if you feel so inclined.
So when you so let me explain how okay, let me just get out here really quick. So the medal system, right, and the achievement system as well. If you're playing on a console that has achievements, I'm on the only one that doesn't. So I'm pretty much just doing these medals for fun, basically. But so this one here that says view 20 images across all 4 tiles and change the wallpaper to the secret image. You also have to complete at least one game to do this. So it does not tell you that. So if you tried this, like we did the first time when we streamed this, and you're like, how come this didn't work? You have to beat one game. And then for which one? There was another one. Oh, this one here, you also have to beat another game. I forget which one. I was trying to get this one last night. I just kind of just let it play the songs. But yeah, you have to... Oh, no, you have to beat one of the the new thing they call it. I forget, like the boss rush thing where you have to fight 2 bosses at one time. You have to beat, like, so many levels from that, and then you do this. And then... I thought there was another one. I guess not. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yeah, right here. It says that you obtained 50% of all the hunter medals. A new wallpaper has been unlocked. So The first wallpaper you get for when you beat at least one game and look at 20 pieces of art, as you guys probably saw it, is this one, which is from X1, which I think looks pretty cool. It's like from the little intro scene. And then the other one you get is this one, which I also kind of like. I don't know why. It's very blue, but I do like it. It looks kind of cool to me. But yeah, so I got this one today.
Nice.
It's very
good show.
Exactly. So I've been trying, like I said, and I've been streaming this game on my own stream, on my own time, and on my stream, all my thoughts and opinions only belong to me and nobody else. So if you wanted to see that, you can check it out there. I might pick it back up today or tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. I'm kind of leaning towards
You'll be able to revel in the liberty of Josh, that Josh goes through when he's on his own stream.
Yes. But yeah, so
we unfortunately stifle him and don't make him free to say anything he'd like to say.
It's alright. On my stream, you know, we were just talking about how horrible Battle Network was, and Skybane joined in on these. Like, yeah, I finally get to talk about how horrible it is. I'm like, see, I knew.
No, if you guys can find our it's a lie. No, Josh made that up.
No, it's true.
What's the word?
He's like, I, Skybane Cervantes Z, officially hate Battle Network, and it's very stinky, and it's dumb, and I don't like it. His words, not mine.
I've never said that. No, I've never said that. No, that's a lie.
No, that's
true.
A
fully... No, that is a complete and utter falsehood.
Look it up, my
You'll never find me.
It's on there.
No, that I've never said anything. Josh, just end the stream here for crying out loud. After I mentioned some news, of course.
I always scream about my legacy, especially when I'm playing a legacy collection.
Yes, the X collection would be really cool indeed.
Yeah.
But as for news, yeah, just we're talking about things honestly, but don't have anything really to announce at the moment. But as always, stay tuned to our page, folks, for more potential announcements. Again, this is the year of Mega Man Legends. 20 years since the release of the first Legends game in Japan. So, pretty big occasion for us, for the Legends community in general. And we think that the occasion warrants some neat little activities and celebratory campaigns. Just to celebrate 20 years of Mega Man Legends. So, we're going to be doing things, again, all throughout the year. We have been doing things, of course, but we're going to be continuing doing things throughout the year to pay tribute to this series. So yeah, just follow our social media pages. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, YouTube even, and check out the stuff we've done over our long career. But that's pretty much it. So I guess we'll catch you guys next week with Mega Man Maker. See what's new on that end. But yeah, until next time, guys, keep riding the good fight. And as always, Legends never die.
Legends never die.
You're stay legendary.
Bye-bye.